how's it going? Here's the glove action here. The old glove on, and we're off. Visor down. Reason for this video: Lifeindecible put out a challenge to recount your first time riding a motorcycle, and I sent him a message back asking whether if it was in the dirt or street. He said the dirt was fine, so because that's where I got my start. I first started riding mini bikes, really. Just twist the throttle and go, you know, type thing, like a Honda Trail 70, which was like a 2-speed. There's really no clutch. So that sort of what I started riding. I never owned one. I just rode other people's. So I had some friends of mine that later on, probably, I don't know, I was probably 12, 13, 14, I guess. Somewhere in there. I had some friends that they rode dirt bikes, and I guess they had seen me out on the trail bike or mini bike, whatever you want to call them, and they invited me to go with them one day to ride the motorcycles or the dirt bikes. So I rode my push bike over to their house, and then from there we loaded up a trailer and headed off into this little canyon area that we that was close to us, that we go ride dirt bikes and stuff. And I knew the basics of riding a motorcycle. I knew how to ride a standard car. I knew how to operate a clutch and that. So transposing that to a motorcycle was not that difficult. So yeah, you know, he explained to me 1 down, 4 up at the time, and and we were off riding. My first time riding, I remember thinking that you know, I had ridden on some of these trails before on a trail bike, but a trail bike just didn't go that fast. And on this trail bike, you know, most of the time there were some hills that I couldn't go up. It just didn't have enough power to get me up the hills or whatever. So I remember thinking on this motorcycle, and I was following him as I watched him go up a hill, and I think, oh my God, I was scared to death because the hills were so tall, and they probably wouldn't, you know, probably 10 feet or whatever, but, you know, first time on a 175cc 2-stroke motorcycle was quite intimidating. So I got to experience going up and down hills and using the rear brake only, and then he told me, you know, he insisted I start using the front brake. So I started using the front brake and learned to, you know, there's only so hard you can press that front brake when you're, especially if you're in a corner or something. And after riding with that throughout that whole day, I learned how to pretty much use the front brake in the dirt. But I never did ride in the street. You know, we just loaded the trailer back up and headed out when we were done. So that was my first time riding a motorcycle. Now, the first time I rode a street motorcycle, well, actually I rode a dirt bike on the street, so It wasn't really a street motorcycle. First time I rode in Houston traffic was some many years later. I don't want to recount how many. It's kind of depressing. But many years later, I rode a street bike in Houston traffic, and it scared the crap out of me. But I've since gotten used to it. I'm still a little wary of it. I would say cautious is more of it. But yeah, it was all good. I ride bikes everywhere I can, when I can, and enjoyed every minute of it. Talk to you guys later.